this is Mark from Mark Sales again, also known as SMPostcards. So today we're going to go through another video where what's sold on eBay, Etsy, and Hip Postcards. So we had 16 postcards sold on eBay, 2 postcards sold on Etsy, and 1 postcard sold on Hip. Also in this video, I'm going to do a little exercise, or in the middle, talk about where I source postcards. I've had a lot of questions, where to buy postcards, what to look for, what's the best deals, etc. So I'll talk a little bit about that. So let's go ahead and get going, and I'll walk through each card. I'll show you the card, the front and back, and discuss a little bit about it if I can, anything else that comes to my mind, and then what it's sold for and where it's being shipped. Okay, the first card that's sold is Laredo Taft Statue Blackhawk on Rock River near Illinois White Pines Forest State Park. So that's Blackhawk on there. Now this is a chrome card. It does, it looks like it's a divided back, but this is actually a redone chrome card on the back there. This actually sold for $4.45. and it's going to Midlothian, Virginia. Okay, so the next card that sold is Sunrise Scene College Hall and Abbott Hall, Blue Ridge, North Carolina. So it looks like it's a college hall, so maybe a college in North Carolina, but it's a linen card. You can feel the rag count. Now with linen cards, it's not really made of linen. It's got a higher rag count, so you feel a little different on the card stock. But in the days, the way I understand it, and people have told me, and I've researched a little bit, is when they started making cards for the linens, the ink would run. So the gentleman that created it, I forgot his Tetsi, or starts with a T, but he found that if he raised it up a little bit with some texture, the ink would absorb a little bit better and it wouldn't run onto the edges and stuff like that. So that they're not really linen, but they're on there. But you can always tell the linen cards are more like a colorful type ones. And a lot of times I just feel them, and I can feel that. So that's what the linens, when they mean that, it's not a linen made out of linen. It's just a higher rag count and some raised texture on the front to hold the ink. But that's what that looks like. You got, the 2 halls, you got the road in there. It's an unposted card. It's a solid stock card. The edges and corners are really good. This sold for $4.45, and it's going to Bowling Green, Kentucky. Okay, so the next order, the gentleman purchased 4 cards for this order, and I'll show you how I pack up the 4 cards in an envelope. But the first card that we have is, I just listed the other day, it's actually the space shuttle riding on a 747. I remember this when I was young, them showing, transporting the shuttle back and forth around the United States. But that's a chrome card. It's part of the NASA cards that I bought, and we'll talk a little bit about sourcing in a little bit on what I look for when I picked up these NASA cards. But this is a pretty cool card. I'm not for sure how many out there, but it is a chrome, so it's an earlier card on there. But he's got a pretty good mixture of what he's picking up here. The next one is the Battleship USS Alabama. This is a 16-inch, 16-inch projectile and powder can. So it's kind of a, an artillery projectile for the ship, the USS Alabama, the battleship. And I thought that was pretty cool. But it's one of those Deep South series cards. You can see the series up here. It tells a little bit of information, but it's an unposted card. It's a chrome card, and that's going with that one. The next one is a series of cards that I got for Elgin, Illinois, which is north of Chicago, northwest a little bit, I think. But these are actually Fire Barn number 5 museum. This is you can see the fire truck right there. This is a chrome card. This is Elgin Fire Barn number 5. These are chrome. This is a chrome card, and it's not posted. It's a really solid, good card. There's not a lot of scratches on it, so these were well kept in someone's collection. but I think I got them in a lot of cards. I bought a lot of, maybe 6,000 cards or whatever, and this is part of that collection. And this is another one from the same collection. It does look like it's an older card, but if you actually look, it's shiny. It's got that chrome. It's a chrome card. It's actually a reproduction of a picture onto a chrome card. So these are not actually old cards. These are 70s, 80s chrome cards on there. And it's got the 2 horses with the fire engine, the 2 firemen, and I think it's the same firehouse as this. So if you look at the 2 together, so this is that one and this is that one. So let me see if I can get them in the picture here. But I think it's the same scene, but on 2 different cards. One's older with an engine, and then one is kind of like a newer one. So he picked them out. And like I said before, people will browse through your store. They'll search. They know how to do that. They've been doing it for years. So if you put the right titles in and the right search keys, and they'll find the cards. So this whole order actually is going to go, I bet you it's going to Elgin. Let's see where it's going. So this is being shipped to Zanesville, Ohio. A lot of those Elgin cards have been going to Elgin, and this whole order was worth $17.17 for 4 cards, and it's free shipping. So when I ship 4 cards and below, I put them into a photo mailer, and there's a stamp. So this is going to be, this 55-cent stamp will be for 1 ounce. This Forever stamp does 1 ounce. Now when you go to 1 to 2 ounces, go over to 1 ounce and up to 2 ounces, you need to put what they call an extra ounce stamp on. And you can get those from the post office or on the USPS website. You can buy a roll of these stamps. I have a roll here. I don't use them that often, because if I go over 5 and above, then I wrap them up really well and put them in a first class package. But sometimes the cards will go over 1 ounce. And then if you go to 2 to 3 ounces, then you just put 1 more of those additional ounces, and that's as high as you can go. When you go over 3 ounces, then you need to go to first class package. Now when they start that eBay standard envelope, that'll be different. I won't need to use these stamps. I'll just print out the label. I think it's 51 cents for this guy. It'll be 71 cents and then 91 cents. But after 3 ounces, you need to go to first class package. But that's how I do it. And now the reason I only put 4 in here is because I had a lot of problems with my Dymo label being ripped off in the machines if it was too thick. It still met the requirements, but the machines were kind of grabbing a corner or pulling them off. So I said, okay, let's go to 4 cards only. And for years, we've never had another one destroyed or come back without missing the label. So that's what we've stuck with. It might cost us a little bit more when we go 5 cards with free shipping and go first class, but it saves time because I don't have to deal with any problems and stuff. And I might save a quarter, 30 cents, but the aggravation of that happening to the customer is probably well worth more than that. But that's what that order's going for. Okay, so the next card that sold, and this takes us, from airplanes in Illinois down to Lake Fishing Pier. It's called the New Fishing Pier, where year-round fishing is enjoyed in Lake Worth, Florida. You got the palm tree. What sold it is a lot of those old cards are lined up there from the fishermen. So this is probably the 50s, late 50s card. I would say it's a chrome card. And I can't tell when it was postmarked, but it is canceled. It's postmarked there, and it's got a 3-cent stamp on it. So that's a Lake Worth. This card sold for $4.45, and it is going to Eagle, Idaho. Okay, so the next card that sold is a chrome card of Sir Francis Drake Hotel in San Francisco's most famous hotel. So it's a hotel in San Francisco. And this is actually being shipped to Fishersville, Virginia. But this is actually a chrome card, but it's kind of have a weird feeling to it, but it's a print of a hotel. I do a lot of hotels. I always put them up, and I make sure I put, you know, St. Francis Drake Hotel, San Francisco, California. So that triggers a lot of the searches in eBay. If anybody's worked there, they stayed there, or whatever, if they collect hotels in San Francisco, that's what that's for. So this sold for $445, and like I said, it's going to Fisherville, Virginia. Okay, so the next card sold is another hotel. So the other day it was all mountains and waterfalls. Maybe it's going to be hotels today. You never know what people are going to buy on postcards. So I just put, if the card looks good, it's going to go up. There's some cards I got a lot of, like Carlsbad Caverns and stuff like that. So those probably will go to the flea market, because I put hundreds of those up. So you kind of in your head, you look at your categories that you have, and you don't want to oversaturate the same cards if they're not moving. You kind of find the ones moving, but most of them will sell. Like this one is Erawan Garden Hotel, Indian Wells, California. So another hotel in California. This is a chrome card. It's uncanceled, unposted, and really nice card. There's no scratches really on it. The corners, everything's really good, and it's kind of like a Japanese style. It's located in the golf capital of the world, just beyond Palm Springs toward La Quinta. So it's a little different type of hotel. This sold for $445, and it's going to Bonnie Lake, Washington. Okay, here's another card a lot of people won't put up because they don't think they sold. There's a lot of them. They're probably saturated all over. But this is the Statue of Liberty at sunrise in New York. So some people won't put them up because they feel there's a lot of them out there. I thought it was a pretty cool looking card with the sunrise. It's actually posted I can't really tell when it was posted on there, but it's posted on the back there. It's got a 1-cent stamp on it. So, but that's pretty neat sunrise behind her. It looks like they colored it right. I think it's a little overdone on some of the sunrise, but it's a nice looking card. It really brings out the Statue of Liberty up there, and it's in New York Harbor. This actually sold for $445, and it's going to Tucson, Arizona. Now I always do this in the video just to let people know in between. What I'm doing as I walk through these is I'm actually packing the postcards up the mail for the day. And what I do is I have pre-stamped envelopes. I have the stamps already on the envelope, and I have a stamp that I actually use to stamp my address on. So I'll stamp a lot of envelopes ahead of time. Then I also have a stamp for the back that puts our marketing. It says SMPostcards.com, which takes you right to our eBay store on the back. And then I use the copy button in the shipping page for the postcard. I do free shipping. I just use the copy button for the address, and I copy and paste that over to a Dymo label that I'll put right along here. So that's what I'm doing in between, and I cut all that out of the video because I don't think you need to see me spend your time watching me put them in an envelope, but that's what I do with that. Okay, I wanted to go over a couple questions that came in on the videos on YouTube and share them with the people on this video. The first question came from Mike. When you're listing postcards in the shipping service field, there is no option for regular letter mail. Do you enter first class, or does it matter? I offer free shipping, but I don't know how picky eBay is about that info. Right now, I think I have a partial select. So, if you look at the video we did a couple weeks ago, or one of them, and you can look in the thumbnail on YouTube, I went over the shipping policy, how to set that up, and how to check the box for free shipping, and we selected economy services. When you're doing first class, the size of the box and stuff, the weight is important, but there is requirements for that. But you want to select free shipping, economy services, and go through that video that we have, and I think that'll help explain. If you got any more questions, let me know. But look at other sellers too, and that offer free shipping, and see how they're doing it, what it looks like on their page, and see if yours is coming up. But I highly recommend shipping policies in the business policy section of eBay. They're really easy to set up. You just gotta go through, and once they're set up, you sign them to all your listings in bulk edit, or how you want to do it. And when you want to make a change, you just do it in the business policies, and it changes them all. This question is, thank you for your videos. They are very informative, and I like your business model. Well, thank you. I have been listing for a few months and been part-time trying to build inventory. Want to know if there are any cards, excluding damaged ones, that you don't think were worth listing. I see some people selling the same cards I have for $1, and I don't know if I should check comps on the cards before listing. So my reply to the first part of the message, I had to go back and I didn't see the other question. I had to drop it down. The cards I usually don't list. I usually put them in a box and bring them to the flea market, but I do get these types of cards when I buy the big collections or the lots of them. Is Continental cards, unless they're Disney, and a few other ones. Those go to the flea market in a big box to sell. Catalog cards and souvenir packs. I haven't really got into those that much, so I usually bring those to the flea market. And I'll get those, like I said, into lots of stuff, and I'll set those to the side. And I have a little box over here. I have about 3 or 4 boxes to bring this year to the flea market already, just going through. Also, what I don't do is a lot of international cards. I'm very selective on international. If I know the place, if I don't have to translate it, it kind of slows me down because I got to put it in Google Translator. I really don't know where the places are in some of them and stuff like that. So some of the international cards I don't do. Now with the pricing, there are so many eBay sellers and so many postcards in the world and so many buyers of postcards. It's like the #3 collecting thing in the States. I think it's coin stamps, postcards, or it could be, but those are the top 3. People sell these things for 99 cents, free shipping. They throw them in auctions. You know, the other day I saw one for 45 cents on an auction and $1 shipping. So, and then there's people that sell them for, $30 for a chrome card of flowers. Will you get that for it? You never know. It's just what people will pay for. But so for a card like this or a card like this, I'm not going to go out and check comps and do research on these cards. They're going to go up for $4.45 free shipping. They're chrome cards. There's really nothing special that, from my experience, this is a mine shop out there, but how many of these cards were made? Now, if I have some special cards of certain things that catch my eye, or I've learned what's sold, like Disney cards, I know I can price those up. There is some other cards like firehouses, some of the older divided backs and stuff like that with the glitter on them. They might go for a little bit more, and I'll set those to the side, but I don't look at comps on a lot of them. That's why we kind of stay in our niches, divided back, linen, or divided back, white border, linen, and chrome cards, and not into the Continentals, and really not into RPPCs and undivided backs. We do get them, and we will list them, but we don't really actively source for those. But will I turn down a good deal on a card? No. But we tend to stay in that area right now. Will we go into the other ones later on? Maybe. So, but the key to our model is volume. Is get these cards out there to people. If they find a card that's worth a lot more money than what we got listed, great. We got what we wanted out of it. We missed it, but we learned. We learn what sells, and we just grow from there. We're not making a killing. We're not getting rich doing it, but it pays for the equipment, pays for the time, pays the fees in eBay, and we enjoy this. Finding postcards of different places like this mine shaft and stuff like that. I've learned so much just doing postcards from people, and the community is great, and so that's what I do with that. Okay, enough rambling on that. Let's get on to the next card here, and it is a fort. Postcard, Fort Wilkes State Park, Copper Harbor, Michigan. So it looks like it's an old fort. It's really bright. It's a really nice card. No scratches. You can see how it kind of shines in the light there. But there's a flagpole in the middle, and there's some houses. It looks like they're really restored or something. It is old Fort Wilkes was an important military center, is now a state park, and is host to thousands of vacationers every year. So it's a chrome card. It's really very well kept. I don't see any scratches on this. So this is sold for $4.45, Lehigh Acres, Florida. Next card that's sold It was posted in 1938. It's a linen card. It's a World War memorial. Scoville Park, Oak Park, Illinois, just north of me, about an hour. So that's a memorial. So some people collect all these war memorials, or they've been to them, or some of the older people were in the war. I'm not for sure what memorial this is, but it's posted in 1938, so that's right in the linen area. And like I said, linens have that texture, but I can just look at this one and tell that's what it is. It's got a little bit of tanning on it, some of the corner edges and stuff, but for being mailed 1938, it's doing pretty good. This sold for $4.45, and it is going to East Peoria, Illinois. Card is another airplane. It's a Slick Airways Douglas DC-4. I got a collection, and they had a lot of these airplane pictures in there, so they're starting to sell. They didn't sell right away, but I probably have two of them today sold. 3, and it's a chrome card. Nice, well-kept card at the stock. I mean, it looks like it just printed. So it's very well done. And that was $4.45, and that's going to Brooklyn, New York. If you notice, we haven't been doing a lot of saying that this was an offer sent to a buyer and $4. Most of the cards have been selling for full price of $4.45. That's because yesterday we were kind of busy. We're working on a different type of video for the Postcard channel, and what we did is looked at a whole bunch of postcards we got. We actually went out and bought probably 3 dozen postcards from places that we know of, and these are actually older postcards of places that, like a statue, a church. Yesterday we spent most of the afternoon going out to a park that we know and hiking to the Indian caves. We actually found where this postcard was done, and this postcard was posted in 1906. So we actually found the Indian cave and the shelf and stuff like that, and we're putting that video together. So we didn't get a chance yesterday to do a lot of offers to buyers because we weren't home. So a lot of the cards still sold for $4.45, but we do send offers all day long. But today was mostly a lot of full price cards. Is that thinking that I shouldn't send offers? No, I want to give a good deal to the buyers. But look in the future for those videos. It'll be called, I think we're going to name it Postcards Past and Present. Let's go find it. So we'll show the card, and then we'll go out on the adventure and see if we can find the actual place of the postcard. So it was a lot of fun yesterday. It was a really nice day to get out, and we figured that's a way to break up the monotony of winter and get out and do some things. The card is Brushy Mountain, and I know why they call it that, because look at all the brush. So it's just another mountain scene, and it's located in Tazewell, Virginia. It was posted in 1962. It's a chrome card, and it's got a 3-cent stamp on it. And you can just see a dead tree there, some mountains, so really nothing in there except mountains and grass and stuff like that. And this card sold for $4.45, and it's going to a P.O. box in Pounding Mill, Virginia. I thought this would be a good time just to talk about so I get a lot of questions about sourcing postcards. For a lot of new people, sourcing, I know what people, they probably know what sourcing is, but sourcing is, where do you find product to sell? Where do I go buy this to resell? Or where do I go source items to resell? So people ask me, where do I buy postcards? So eBay has postcards. I mean, a lot of postcards. There's in lots and stuff like that. So that's one place you can always go and find lots of, people put, 800 postcards in a lot, except dollar card. I have one auction, I spent $300 on just that many cards. So the prices go all over the place that I pay, but it depends on what the subject matter is, what the postcard is, and stuff like that. So eBay is one place to look at. Facebook Marketplace is another place to find people selling just lots of postcards. Some people want exorbitant prices. I had one guy, he had like 150 cards, and he sent me a message, and I said, well, what are you looking to get out of them? He said 300 cards, or $300. There's no way I can resell it. They were just chrome cards, greeting cards. There was nothing special in there. I didn't see one card that was would even be worth. I had to pass. Estate sales. Those are great. When you go into estate sales, a lot of people will pass up the postcards. Usually on the second to last day, and the last day is when those haven't went, and they'll price them down. In the beginning, they will price postcards out of this world. So go in and check, and then come back in a couple days and estate sales. But you can find boxes of postcards. Now you'll usually get a lot of paper, a lot of photographs with those as well. So you need a place to get rid of that. I use the flea market for that. I just line it all up in a box and sell it for $10. Auctions. I bought a lot of postcards at auctions lately. Before what's going on in the world right now, when they had the auctions every Friday, they were just going exorbitant. I mean, people were just going crazy on postcards, and the prices were out as well. But once in a while, I'll pick up a good lot, a good big box, 1,000 postcards for a really cheap price. Friends, ask friends if they got any postcards laying around. Grandparents, they went through their attic, just see what, find them. Antique malls. Now you're going to pay up anytime you go to an antique mall, but they got the little baskets all over. We were down in Florida one time, and I was walking through this flea market place, and on the counter was this basket. And it said, 12 cards for $5. I said, okay. So I started looking through them. It was Puerto Rico. I love Puerto Rico cards. They sell so fast, and not for a lot of money, but they sell. I picked up like 2 dozen cards for $10, and I know they're going to sell. So, but that basket's been there a while. Some of the cards were a little curved and stuff, but those are the places. And the guy was standing right there, and I think I ended up getting another 12 for nothing because he just wanted to get rid of them. So when you go to the antique malls, flip through those. I don't spend all day at an antique mall looking through postcards. Usually if the prices are reasonable, I'll stay in the booth. But if they're, if they want $10 a card, no, I just move on out of there. I'm not going to be able to pay that for any postcard. And now, antique malls, people that are tied to postcards are going to pay more. Auctions, eBay, people that want to get rid of the cards, they don't know what they're worth. They really don't want them. So, but I don't lowball them. I give them a good price. The other thing is, when you're buying postcards, and I ran into this problem. I bought a collection of like 6,000-7,000 postcards. Over 3/4 of them were North Carolina or just one state, so I didn't get a good variety. Nothing wrong with North Carolina. I just didn't get a good variety out of there. So I learned right away, if you buy a big collection, you got to look through and make sure you got a good variety of what's in there. So lately, since I probably have almost a year's worth of postcards scanned, ready to list. We scan them up ahead of time and put a rubber band around them and put them in the boxes in order to the pictures. So we probably almost got 9-12 months worth of postcard scans. So I don't need to go out and hurry and find something. So I will look for small lots. I might have to pay up for them. But like right now, I look through my categories on eBay, like I said in the other video. I need Alaska cards, South Dakota, North Dakota, Illinois, Michigan, Minnesota. Those are the cards I'm looking for. And I always look for Caribbean, Puerto Rico, in the Caribbean islands and stuff, Guam, stuff like that. So that's the sourcing. And there's millions of postcards out there. Billions of postcards. And you just gotta, the hunt is part of the fun. So I hope that answers the questions about sourcing. If you got any more questions about sourcing, leave it in the comments. Maybe someone else can say where they get them. With sourcing postcards, I just got in today, and it's it just worked out just fine. I just got a box of postcards that I ordered off of eBay. This box right here, and I blocked out the addresses and stuff, came from a seller. It was an auction on eBay, and if you notice, they shipped it in a medium flat rate box. This is how most people will ship postcards. This box is actually, I just weighed it, it's 9 pounds. There's approximately 800 postcards in this box. What did I pay for it? $80. I won the auction with shipping for basically $80. So now that's not what I get them all the time. I pay more, a lot more sometimes. I pay a lot less, depends what it is. These are just chrome cards. So basically I paid 10 cents a piece for these cards. So let's go ahead and get it open and see what we got, if I don't cut myself. Sometimes when I buy the cards, I forget, you know, that I ordered them, and they'll just show up. So we'll get that out of there. So this is really nicely packed. Nice little, you know, plastic bags with them. So what we got is basically some chrome cards. I'll just quickly go through some of them. There's a dolphin. Here's a tractor. Hey, a map card. That'll sell. Some house. Another house. We got some flowers. We got a building. Some buildings here. We got a castle. We got, now this, see, when I talked about it, you get these types of things sometimes with the lots too. This will go in the flea market box. Got some birds. Got some other chrome cards. So this was basically a US chrome lot of US subject cards, topical cards around. You know, they got boats, we got castles. Hey, we got an Alaska card. Now this card I see a lot of. I've sold a lot of these cards. A lot of these I don't put up anymore since I have a lot in there. I'll put them in the flea market thing. A picture of a big lady portrait. Religious always sell real well. Religious cards. We just got different. Now this is Pasadena. Got like a poem card in there. Mountains, waterfalls. Hey, we got planes. We got a lot of plane cards. Airplanes. Delta. We got someone panning gold. I think this is Nixon's wife. Oh no, Betty Ford. Picture of Betty Ford. Boats. Water. So here's another, there's a map card. There's a map card. Map card. Map card. More map cards. A lot of map cards. Here it looks like the Constitution. I'm going to see if there's any other new one. Ah, here's some kind of wax museum with an Indian. Another one of that with pilgrims. Those always do well. But this is about how fast I go through cards when I do them. Some stones. Indian cliff dwelling. So that'll do well. And here's another NASA card. So I think I did pretty well with this lot. So if we add this up, I sell postcards, these postcards at $4.45, free shipping. So let's just do the sales real quick. So $4.45 times 800. This box right here in sales, if I listed all the cards today and I sold them all for $4.45 free shipping, would be worth in gross sales $3,560. So if you minus the $80 that I paid for them, that still leaves $3,480 that you can use to pay your expenses or whatever. So just one box, 9-pound box, 800 cards is worth $3,400. So that just tells you in volume what you can do. Now, will I get this? Will these things sit when I list them? They could. Some could sell, but to make my money back, $80 divided by 4.45, I need to sell 18 cards. Let's do that again. So 80.00 divided by 4.445. Yeah, I need to sell 18 cards to pay for this box. So I hope that helps with the sourcing. Let's go ahead and finish up the next postcard that's sold, and we'll get this done for the day. This is another airplane. So today's airplane day. This is one I just posted. It's a Dow Jones and Company Gulfstream 3 N122DJ. The picture is not really good. It looks like it's moving. It's got a, it's not my camera. It's actually fuzzy. but that's the golf train for Dow Jones, I guess. And what was kind of neat, it actually had on there the caption signature, when you actually flew, and so they sign it right there in the picture. So I got a couple of these cards, and this, I think I got 3 or 4 of these, and I actually listed them, and we'll see how they do. But this one sold for $4.45, and it's actually going to international. Looks like it's going to Switzerland. Okay, so the last, got 2 more on eBay. I've sold probably a half a dozen of these jackrabbits. Texas Cowboy riding a jackrabbit. It's one of those large animal postcard things. And in my last video a couple weeks ago, I think I sold 2 of these. But this is my last one that I have. And it's actually a chrome card. It looks like a white border, but it's actually, this is a chrome card. It's just the way it's built. It's made to look old. It does have a little, you can see the twist on the corner there a little bit. But the corners on this one, but this is just a, what I call these are humor comic cards, big animal cards, but I put them in the humor and comic area categories in the store, and the title is Postcard Comic or Postcard Humor, and then I'll put in there Texas Cowboy riding jackrabbit, and this is actually probably Texas, it says Texas Cowboy, so I would put it in the Texas state thing. So that's what that is, and this sold for $4.45, and it's going to Carlsbad, New Mexico. Like always, when I do the videos, I usually select 1 more card or 2 more, 3 more cards. This one is sold, so now we have 17 on eBay. This is Eden Springs, Benton Harbor, Michigan. It's an older card. I don't really know if it's RPPC or it looks like a picture put on a lot of those. But I had a lot of these House of David, Benton Harbor cards, and this card actually sold for $4, so that was a offer. And it's going to Bridgeport, Michigan. But you can see the people standing in the back there on there. I don't know a lot about the House of David, but I know I did a lot of these cards. There was like a stack of them in one of the boxes that I did. And it says right back here on the top there, Eden Depot. So, kind of interesting card. But I got a lot of different views. They're standing in line for something. And there's one guy sitting over there looking at the guy taking the picture. So we had 17 cards on eBay sold. And we got 2 cards on Etsy and 1 card on Hip. Okay, so now on the Etsy. And Etsy, it takes a little bit longer to do the copying of the address and stuff, but it's pretty about the same. This card is of Thiel College, Greenville, Pennsylvania. So it's a linen card. Let me see. Yeah, it's a linen card. It doesn't, you can't really feel this one as bad, but you can actually see the texture in there. Some of them, if I really push on it, I can feel that it is a linen card, but it's not posted card. This is actually, it looks like they painted the ivy on the card there. It just doesn't look real if you look at it closely. But it has the 2 view. Upper view shows the administration building, and the view to the left shows Greenville Hall. So somebody probably went to college. Like I said before, with colleges, make sure you get the name in there. I put the title as Postcard Thiel College, Greenville, Pennsylvania. So it probably triggered, it's in the postcard category, so postcard probably didn't really mean that much, but I use it for other reports. And then Thiel College probably triggered a search, and then Greenville, and then Pennsylvania. So those could have triggered a search for people to say, hey, there's a card, let me go look at it. Hey, I went to Thiel College, I want this card. And then it triggers them to buy the card that they'd like to have it. So this sold for $4.45, and it's going to West Mifflin, Pennsylvania. Card that's sold on Etsy, let me bring it up here. It is New Home Sunland Biscuit Company. I guess it's a new home. It's got that perforated cut. I keep forgetting what the name of that little ripply cut around the edges. But that's Sunland Biscuit Company, Los Angeles, California. It's a linen card. Really heavier cardstock, but it has the advertisement on the back there. It's not posted, but it tells about the company. And I guess that's the new home of Sunville Biscuit, probably 1930s part on there. And this sold for $4.45, and it's being shipped to Del Mar, California. Now on the last card is Hip Postcards. This card is Los Angeles Airport. Right there. This is an older card of the Los Angeles International Airport. It's an air view of it. Shows all around there. And they said this was reproduced from an artist rendition. So that's the airport. It's not posted. It does have a flea market thing on there. Like I said previously, I do not take that off. I just leave what's ever on the card on there. This sold for $4.45, and it is going to Minnesota. Okay, so that's all the cards we had today. We had 17 on eBay, 2 on Etsy, and 1 on Hip. Kind of falls into 80, 20, and 5%. So eBay is usually 80%, Etsy is usually 15%, and Hip is 5% of our sales. eBay always winning out, so I focus a lot of our time on eBay. This is our stack for today. That equals about $90 in sales for one day for postcards. So we went over sourcing of the postcards, talked a little bit about linen, our new thing coming up where we're going to do postcards past present. Let's go find it. We got the Indian Cave one done, and they call it in the can. We just got to edit it and put it together. So in a week or so we'll have that up there. But we have a lot of cards ordered. We have a lot of cards to go hunt them down. But you want to check out our other videos that are going to be popping up here. We got packing videos, inventory on postcards, the whole works. And again, you'll see action figure toys videos popping up in our channel. If you're not into those, just disregard them. If you're into them, go there and look for YouTube shorts. They're starting to come out. They're real quick. You can just thumb right through them, and if you double click on them, it'll do the thumbs up. I'm getting more experience with those, so you'll see some of the short videos I put up for that. But we appreciate you watching, and we'll catch you on the next